What some call a political bomb went off in Washington recently. A political bomb that you rarely see in this age of gerontocracy, in this age of being governed by people who don't know when to retire, and this age of being governed by folks like Dianne Feinstein, I have to say it, Mitch McConnell, and Donald Trump for sure. In this age of being governed by the likes of Congressman John Larson, who delivered this speech on the House floor this week, and then something happened. Watch.
Don't worry, no one on the Republican side in the House and Senate who control both the House and Senate is going to speak up and challenge us. But we need to protect Americans' privacy and their social security.
Yes, in this age of lawmakers refusing to pass the torch when they clearly should, we got this news that it seems earth-shattering, okay? Watch.
I wanted you to hear directly from me that I have decided not to run for re-election to the United States Senate in 2026. I have loved my job as United States Senator. And also, after 20 years of hard and rewarding work in the public sector, I'm ready to spend more time with my family.
You heard that right. Minnesota's Tina Smith announcing her intent not to seek re-election in 2026. That move sent shockwaves through the Democratic Party, through the media, through the state of Minnesota, and quite frankly, through the entire country. Already, a host of folks have either declared explicitly or they've suggested that they might want to fill that vacancy. Who are they? Okay, let's go over. Major players in the Democratic Party and Democratic politics. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, former Congressman and Joe Biden primary challenger Dean Phillips, he's on the list. State Attorney General Keith Ellison is on the list. And of course, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, or former Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Vice President Kamala Harris's VP pick. Remember him? Now, I think all of them would be just fine replacements. They're good people. They're very talented lawmakers. But I think there's one name that should be included in the mix. Who's that? Al Franken. Yes, that Al Franken, the former Senator Al Franken, the man who resigned in 2018 amid the Me Too movement. The man who, upon reflection, looks like a Democratic human sacrifice. A man tarred and feathered so that Democrats could look and feel morally superior to the party of Trump. Do you remember that?
Nevertheless, today I am announcing that in the coming weeks, I will be resigning as a member of the United States Senate. I, of all people, am aware that there is some irony in the fact that I am leaving while a man who has bragged on tape about his history of sexual assault sits in the Oval Office, and a man who has repeatedly preyed on young girls campaigns for the Senate with the full support of his party.
So hear me out. In this so-called post-woke era, where voters are increasingly allergic to sanctimony, and everyone thinks that Democrats, they think they're humorless, that they're man-hating skulls. Democrats have an opportunity here. Think about it. And I repeat, think about it. If there's one thing America loves more than apple pie and McDonald's, it's a redemption arc, especially when the initial fall from grace was driven by an overreaction to what now seems like something that's puritanical. Even Senator Kristen Gillibrand, who spearheaded the movement to get rid of Franklin, she is now admitting that it was controversial.
In terms of Senator Franken, this is a very hard issue for so many Democrats because the truth is we miss him and people loved him.
And she's right. Senator Gillibrand is right. People loved Al Franken. They still do. They miss Al Franken. So to me, the answer is very clear. Bring him back. The Democrats need to prove that they're not a party of unforgiving, tut-tutting teachers' pets. Think about the game that we're playing here, folks. While Democrats engage in this circular firing squad, Republicans laugh and they elect people who are accused of sexual abuse, etc. Insurrectionists, crypto grifters, they're putting them into office. Me Too was a very important movement, a very important social movement, but we're now living in a different world. The Republican Party has made clear that their standard for fitness for office is somewhere between convicted felon and guy who openly praises Hitler. Even in blue states, voters have soured on the kind of overzealous moral policing that led to Franken's ouster. Democrats, wake up. You got to get real. Do you want to be pure or do you want to win? Of course, there's going to be objections to this. Some folks will not like this. Some folks will not like me for even proposing it. But guess what? In this new Trumpian world we live in, Democrats need to recognize the difference between legitimate accountability and eating your own for minor infractions. Some will argue that bringing Al Franken back would send the wrong message to female voters. Okay, but the reality is that post-woke politics isn't about excusing real wrongdoing. It's about recognizing the difference between legitimate accountability and eating your own alive for minor infractions. Voters are exhausted with the latter. If the GOP can put a credibly accused sexual abuser on the Supreme Court while still winning elections, Democrats should at least be able to admit that they might have overreacted in pushing out a guy whose biggest crime was being bad at taking staged photos. Do you hear me, Democrats? I repeat, do you want to be pure or do you want to win? You've heard of MAGA, right? How about we start with Mufasa? Make Al Franken senator again. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.